So over the past few days, we've got a lot of stuff done out here that I'm pretty proud about. First off, we're able to get water over here from one side of the deck to the other. And I mean, I've got a long way to go to get from way back over here to over here. So if you want to see how I done that, check out the video behind this. It should be popping up right now. I'll link to it. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff done. One of the cool things that I'm super excited about, and I just can't wait to really get going with, is our grapes. So I'll be doing a video probably midsummer on how to do grapes, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you some good things and some bad things that that I come up with how I done my grapes and how my grapes are working out. But you can kind of see what I've gotten done thus far. The posts that I put in are 4x4s, and they are cemented into the ground. And then it comes up to this T, and then it's kind of held off on both sides because, from what I understand, grapes are extremely heavy. So I wanted something that not only can support the weight going straight down, but when I have the cables coming through here on both sides, it's able to hold everything up. And this is very, very sturdy. And so I got 2 of these finished. I haven't got the other ones done. But along with that, I strung up the muscadines. Last year, or the year that I got these, which was last year, I basically just let this weed eater string spread out the vines. And you can kind of see it right here where my coffee cup is. And it worked out fine, but it's going to grow a lot more this year because it's got a full summer. And so I don't have enough money right now for the cable, so I'm just reusing the weed eater line. I did rig up this system. Basically it's just webbing that's wrapped around the tree, and I put this padding on the back side, hopefully to, I guess, keep the webbing from digging too deep into the tree. I don't know, it just was sitting around the house. And but yeah, it came down through here. Done the same thing with this one. This is the Scumpernong that I bought, or that was bought. And basically I just put it and strung it up to where it's not laying down, and it'll start, I guess, getting used to standing straight up. And I had to anchor it with this. I mean, this is all just jerry-rigged like crazy, but it is what it is when you're when you're on a steep budget. I've got it anchored into the ground for the cable that goes across the middle, and that cable eventually will go all the way up to the top up here. But right now it's just, you know, it is what it is. So like I said, this one's the same thing. I think this is the Concord grape or the Niagara, I can't remember. But we'll be trimming that back here soon enough. Same thing down here at the end with the Concord. And come to find out, you can plant a lot more of these grapes. I think the guy that I was watching online was saying that you can plant these 3 feet apart. So I've got a lot of grapes that I can add on this one area. So this means I'm probably going to move that grape over and just basically fill out this whole entire line this year. And it all comes back to my anchor point, which is heavily cemented into the ground. And I'm going to put a little more cement on top of that before I put dirt on it. But that's just basically to hold tension along the line. And what I wanted to be able to do is disconnect this line if I ever wanted to. So you can take a wrench and spin it this way, and it'll loosen everything up, and you can take it off of this. Or if you wanted to keep it tighter, you just tighten it this way, and it cinches down and pulls a little bit more taut. So that's kind of what I wanted to be able to do. Next up, I'll show you about the swales that we put in. So work is always easier in groups. I took this first mound right here, this backside mound, and hand dug it. We don't have any power tools out here, or not power tools. We don't have any tools out here to help really get this going and to dig for us. So what I had to do was get out here with a shovel, and I dug a trench. It was probably about a foot deep, filled it with wood, set it on fire, and let it burn down. And from what Michael was telling me, when you burn it, it turns into a better form of carbon or whatever, and it takes a lot longer for it to break down. That or it breaks down quicker. It's just different. So what I did was I burned a bunch of wood in this one and let it sit, and then it took a while to and I buried some extra wood behind it, and which is what most of the mound is just wood. And then came back and put some soil that we got from Lucky Leaf on top of it, and then we mulched on top to keep the moisture in. Then while we were, we had Michael over here yesterday and Adam, and they dug this second one within like a third of the time it took me to do mine, and done the same thing, except we didn't set anything on fire because that takes time and a lot of effort. So we just decided to go with it, and we'll see which one does the best. But the whole purpose of this is when water is running downhill, it stops right here on this line, and it will help with water retention. It'll help keep everything from washing out. And then on the back side, it'll do the same thing. Everything that runs off of this hill will get caught over here. So between these two hills, we're gonna be able to plant a good bit. We'll have, we haven't figured out what we're planting where yet, but one row is gonna be tomatoes mixed in with basil and stuff like that. The next one's gonna be green beans with something in the middle. We haven't figured that out yet, but it's not time. I mean, it's middle of March and it gets down below freezing at night, and then it gets really warm during the summer or during the daytime. So it is what it is. Eventually we'll be taking all of these mounds and going a lot further down, and for this to be a hugelkultur bed, there really should be at least 3 to 4 feet tall. Guys, we're still in a residential area. There's the house up there. I don't want to see a bunch of hills are down through here. My wife doesn't want to see them. I mean, I should take that back. I don't mind, but my wife may end up minding. She hasn't told me she has or hasn't, but I don't want to push it. I'm turning her yard into a farm, so it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is let's keep it from looking really, really bad, and let's just keep it as is. And but when we get the larger plot of land, we can go full scale large mounds. So that's pretty much it. There really hasn't been a whole lot else been going on. The chickens are doing great. They're laying a bunch of eggs. This paddock is starting to recover, and once it gets really nice and green, I'll be moving them over to it, so that they're not killing this side any more than they are. But yeah, and then over here with these chickens, I did finally add I added the watering system and the feed system, which I'm pretty proud of because it's a lot easier to work on. Set my coffee cup down. Basically, all you have to do is, just like with the other coop, you fill this up with feed, and I do have a funnel because it's easier, and you just drop it in here. Well, you just drop it in top of here, and it sits right here, and the chickens can eat it right through here. This is a trap, a sanitary trap, I think is what Lowe's calls it. And usually there's a bottom in this, but what I did was I found a cap, stuffed it up in there, and put wood screws through it. And with those wood screws, I put sand up to about right here, to where food will sit down on top of it, and chickens go bananas over it. So it's easy for me not to have to get in there with them. And then the watering system, really simple. It's just a food grade bucket that I got from, you guessed it, Lowe's. And you can see there's my little setup in there. And if you want me to go into more detail about this, I will. But that's just a little plastic nozzle. There you go, little plastic nozzle, and basically goes to this tube, comes down. Yes, there's a lot of twirly twirls, but I'll take some of that out later on. I just need to make sure that this is the system that I want. But then, watch out, girls. Then it comes down to this bucket, and the tube sits really low in the bucket, so that when this fills up with water, as it should be filling up with water now that I lifted the tube up. See, it's all right. It pulls up every once in a while. You can see the water dripping outside of it. I'm going to get in there and fix that, but it fills up and stops itself. So that's pretty much that system. It's really easy. All you have to do is come by and throw water in it and put some food in there, and you're pretty much done for the afternoon. Cuts down time. That's the big thing for my wife and I, is just time. So anything that, when you're building your own homestead, when you're working real hard, every animal that you bring on here, you have to take care of intimately. However, the quicker you can get it done, and the more anatomical stuff that you can put in place, the better, because you're going to run out of time. You're going to get home late from something, and you're going to be like, oh, I can't really get all this done, and you're going to not do it, and then you're going to get burnt out. So there you go. There's my tip for you. So thank you for watching. Make sure you do subscribe for more updates and more information on how to have your own homestead. Looks like fun, doesn't it? So let me just say this. I love zip ties. Here on the homestead, it's really, really convenient to have a group of these available and with you. And the reason why I like these in particular is because of that right there, that little tab right there. These are reusable zip ties. So I loop this around something, tighten it down. It doesn't back out, obviously, until I hit that button, and then it releases. These are so awesome. Guys, I was introduced to this with fast growing trees, because this is what they use to zip tie their stuff together with. From what I understand, you can buy these on Amazon, just like you can buy anything else in the world. But that little tab right there, that right there is a lifesaver. Love this thing. So yeah, there you go.